Hey, what's going on YouTube? All social media platforms that may see this. I'm Rico the man, Rico A Clark, whatever you want to call me, T-Bone Rico on IG. I'm here to give my 1,200 mile assessment of my 2023 Ford Lightning. Okay, so I've been in the EV game as far as ownership. 2017, I got a Tesla Model X. Actually got it on like a lease assumption program from some website called Swap A Lease. I'm not sponsored by them, but if they want to holler at your boy, do it. I swear by Swap A Lease, they made the process very easily. And by me being a veteran, they even gave me a great rate on using the program for life with a one-time fee. Because you do have to pay for them to host your car and provide you with owner information. Anyway, so I got the Model X. I was kind of mad, kind of got buyer's remorse because like I got the 75D battery and then I found one a month later with a cheaper payment that was like the P100. It was in Chicago though, but hey, I could have definitely have used the extra range because Tesla definitely does not promote their range accurately on all their vehicles. It should say up to 235 miles, not 200, because I only got 190. Once I put a set of 22 Rohana RC 22s on there, yeah, my range dropped. It dropped a lot, but you know, just charging network for Tesla is pretty robust, so never really had a problem. And I've always had a 25 foot, like 1/aught cable, 1450 extension cord. So when I go to someone's house, that cable and my Tesla mobile charger was long enough to reach their dryer, where I had either the 1430 connection as well as the, I can't think of the 3-prong dryer prong. Anyway, so back to the Ford. Been waiting for this thing. I was day one reservation holder, so I sent my $100 and finally got a call like in April. Hey, it's time to build your F-150. All right, no problem. So I build it, send it in, and start waiting. Then I get an email from my dealership, Parks Ford, Wesley Chapel, Florida. Definitely stand by them as well. Also not sponsored, but hey, if you're in the Wesley Chapel, Florida area, which is kind of like a suburb of Tampa, Florida, look up Parks Ford and ask for Frank Lacey. He's a great guy. He said, hey, you can't get the power side steps. You got to go with the static ones. I was like, all right, well, whatever what I want. And for $250, you can't beat it because I'll get to that later. Then he calls me back and said, hey, we're having the whole chip shortage. Now we can't even build your car for 22. So you're going to lose your color, which was the ice blue, silver, whatever. And you also lose your side steps, but you'll get a 23 model and you're also going to lose the onboard scale. Not a big deal. I didn't buy this truck for goals or for show, so no big deal. Finally, it comes in the 10th of January of this year. But fortunately for me, I was able to process my paperwork before January. So I was able to keep my $7,500 US government rebate. So yay for me. So after tag, tax, and title, not putting any money down, and the rebate, I got that truck out the door for $77,000. So not bad, but it was 84, you know, with, from Ford initially on as far as the paperwork is concerned. So when I get that rebate, I'll make sure I send that money to the Ford credit and get it off. But I'm trying to refi, so that's another story I get to as well. So I go down, my man Corey Akoff, USS Pennsylvania, SSBN 735 Gold, my shipmate from my Navy days, took me down to Parks Ford to get the truck. Now I'm pissed because I've been waiting for this truck. It's been done since the end of November, but for some odd reason, they just wouldn't send it. So they finally sent it, and I was happy. I get an email. So I'm down in Kings Bay, Naval Submarine Base, Kings Bay for work. So I'm like, it would be great if this truck came because, you know, I can go ahead and get it. It's like it saves me the money from trying to go from Alexandria, Virginia, where I am now, down to Tampa. So he's like, hey, I got a message. The truck is in Jasper, Florida. It should be here, tomorrow at 1600. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I finished my work day. Corey finishes his. We hop in his Suburban. We ride down. And the funny is, I've known this guy since '93. And this is the first thing we've ever done like together one-on-one. So it's pretty cool. We chop it up. We talk about life, the whole nine. And then we get to the dealership, and enraged as I am about, waiting for my truck and they don't know where it is. And I called Ford, it's waiting to ship in. We're having an issue with the rail cars or whatever. So I finally get it. The long story long, I finally get it. Come around the corner and there I see it. Nice and shiny, it's cleaned up. Parks Ford had me right. Frank was there, he was happy to see me. And I get into the truck. I think I had about probably 80% charge, but I only had like a 200-mile ride back to Georgia where I was still had a hotel room at for my work trip. And, but you don't really know, like when you're driving, I would say 71, 72 is like the max you can do on the interstate and not drop too much range where the charging won't make up for the time you save by speeding. So, but I know that route from Tampa to Kings Bay because I was stationed there. So I know how the back roads and the side streets to get me to where I was going. And in the event, oh, this is pretty cool. My bat lanyard has my name on it. That's all right. It's backwards, but let's see if we can fix it. I don't know, still backwards, whatever. I stopped in Jacksonville. I think I can't think what road it was, but it was Electrify America. I had already had an account with them, so I started up and I'm good to go. Ford is supposed to give you 250 free kilowatt hours on EA network, but since I had just bought the truck, it didn't work yet. So also the truck has Blue Cruise, which is kind of like autopilot, but it's not. It's self-driving. The truck has 2 sensors on either side of the one on the driver's door pillar and one to the left of the 17-inch screen, that monstrous screen that it has, rectangle shape. And as long as your eyes are open, you can see it, but it wasn't working. But it did have like lane assist. But that's prompting you to move the steering wheel like every 10 seconds. So that kind of got aggravating. So cruise control it is, driving. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay. Definitely love that. And so I was able to use Waze, for my navigation so I can see where the fuzz are. Because God knows I don't need another ticket. I've gotten enough on that ride from Tampa to Kings Bay for sure. In any event, I make it to Jacksonville, charge for I think, I didn't know because it charges kind of slow. Tesla's going to give you over 300 kilowatts, sometime 370 in their vehicles. And this car, the Ford kind of this particular station capped out at 135 to 140 kilowatts. So it's kind of, with a 130 kilowatt battery, that's kind of slow charging, but I just dealt with it. Get to Kings Bay, small town. They have one machine there. I think it's a charge point machine that I had to pay for, but it only gives you, it lets you connect for 15-minute intervals for I think $5. So that gave me enough to get to Brunswick, Georgia, which was my first main stop. So that next morning I get up, I go to East Coast Customs, also not sponsored, but they gave me a great deal. So I guess that kind of was a partial sponsorship to get my windows tinted, 20% on the side, 50% windshield, something I've done since '93, my Pro Sound days. Shout out to Mike Place, and get my bed liner sprayed. I elected not to do it from the fact that their prices was a little elevated. So was their tonneau cover. I'll get to that later as well. So I just bought the truck just plain with rubber, all weather floor mats and 2 keys, a valet key, and my door card that gives me my door, my factory door unlock button. It's kind of proprietary to Ford. I don't know if you've seen many Ford vehicles or trucks, they have a keypad, number keypad on the side where you can use that to unlock the door. And the good thing about the Lightning is you can also set it up to drive with your phone. If you don't have neither, you can use a password. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I go to Brunswick. They have an EA charger off exit 38 next to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, and I was able to get free charge for an hour. So I sat there for an hour. My man Charles Murphy, I call him Charlie Murphy, he came out to, I also bought a shotgun. So we did a little shotgun showpiece for each other. And then I gave him the particulars of the car. Great vehicle, great car to show. The frunk, which is the name taken over from Tesla. Kind of slow to open, but it opens up. And the rear tailgate is also motorized. So I get in the car, I head up to Walterboro, I keep saying Walterboro, South Carolina. Stop there. I think my charge was supposed to be 20 to 30 minutes. What I normally do, I get a cigar, I walk over, the cigar is done, I'm done. So I'm doing this up and down the coast. One leg I was kind of tired, I'm rushing, so I'm going 80, 85, and and the power was just leaving me. And then when I got to, I can't think what city it was in North Carolina. I paid the, no, I was actually went to Florence, South Carolina. I paid the price by speeding because I had to sit there longer to charge because the 140, 135 from EA doesn't really put a lot of power in their car that quickly. That's a good thing though, because supercharging has been known to degrade the battery prematurely, whereas a slower charging will protect your battery and protect the cells in the battery. I don't know, I'm not too much into the battery technology. I just know that when I plug it in, it works. So I finally make it to my home in Alexandria, but no issues, no problem with the truck. It functions properly. The heat works, the seat works, seat cooler works. I got the Lariat, trim. So it has everything except for my powered seats and the expanded audio that the Platinum actually has. I'm an audiophile. I kind of wish I would have gotten the Platinum, but for I think $15,000 more, the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze. I can have my audio replaced for way cheaper than $15,000, and it will sound better. I know some guys that's big into the audio game, so I'm not worried about them giving me some great sound quality and some expanded bass. So I ordered a tonneau cover, flush mount with the hard top that actually rolls up. It's like an inch too long. Called the company, oh, it should fit. It doesn't. So the Lightning bed is right at 65 inches, but most of these tonneau covers are for 66. They say 5.5 foot bed, but it measures out at 66 inches. But the door closes like kind of into the bed a little bit, so that it was just a little bit too long. So I ended up going to Amazon and getting a quad fold top, $186. Can't beat that. But I did already buy some Amp Research power steps with the LEDs that go under each door. So I had my man, Miguel Espinosa, come through, hook those up for me. Great mechanic. If you're in the Alexandria area, look him up. Or just give me a shout. I'll give you his info. He's a mobile mechanic. He previously worked at a shop, but he figured it was better to work on his own. And it does. You make more money being a mobile mechanic, especially if you're competent like he is. And he knows power. He knows audio as well as mechanics, so that's a good deal. It's always good to know 12 volts. I could have did it. I've done those steps on another F-150, but it was cold when I did that one. It was cold for this one. I was like, I'm not laying on that garage floor in the cold. But I have this nice propane heater from Amazon that I use in my garage to allow him to have some warmth. So 2.5 hours later, he gives me a call and, hey man, it's working. Come downstairs, open the door, boom, bada bing. It come down, and it actually adds the power steps. They give a little more like style, to your truck. It makes you look a little more high end, more classic, and it makes for an awesome assistance to get into the truck, because without those steps, that truck is pretty high up off the ground. But other than that, I added some in-channel vent visors. Got to have those so you can crack the window that allow fresh air in when it's raining or inclement weather, things like that. And so the side steps, the spray and bed liner, the tent, the vent visors, and the stubby antenna. You got to have the stubby. Ford comes with that, I think 2.5, 3 feet long whip antenna, which not many people listen to FM anyway, but that stubby actually does a good job of picking up. But I'm normally listening to Apple Music or YouTube Music or XM. I bought a lifetime XM subscription back in 2010. It was like $400, and they split it up into 5 easy payments. So that made it kind of cheap. And I've been using that lifetime subscription for the past 12 years. So 13 years anyway. So that was a great buy. So if you can get lifetime XM, I'm also not sponsored by XM, but if you can get a lifetime XM package, it's better than paying monthly. And they do a good job of splitting the payment up for you to make it affordable and easy. But overall, I love the truck. Can't stay out of it. I'm always finding a reason to go somewhere. Like, if I have an extra errand to run, I'll put it out to the next day, so it gives me a reason to come out and drive the truck and just experience it. I'm learning something new about it every day. A lot of things in the screen that can show you different settings, and it also has like the times we can charge it, also your departure time. So like I leave at 0530 for work, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So I just have those days set. So at 5:30, the battery's warm, and I can get in and have optimum performance of the car, vice driving it and waiting for the battery to warm itself through just the normal use. But other than that, it's just it's a great truck. If you can get your hands on one, even if it's for a demo, or you can probably rent one on Turo now. Also not sponsored by Turo. I'm doing all these name drops of these companies that don't know who I am. But Turo is just a way that people rent their personal cars. It's easier than going to a dealership, because I went to Miami and I ended up having to leave that car. The car rental office, because they ran like $100 for 4 days, but you have to use their insurance. That's $35 a day. You have to get their toll pass. That's $10. So now at the end of the day, I'm at like $400 for a damn Toyota Yaris, and that is not happening. So I just went on Turo and got a nice Camry and went down to Key West and had a great time. This is over the Thanksgiving holiday. So yeah, if you got any questions or any comments on what I just stated in this past 16-minute video, give me a shout. Like I said, I'm T-Bone Rico on IG, and Rico A. Clark on Twitter and Facebook. I try to Twitter, Insta-Face as much as I can. TikTok, I think I'm Rico the Man, and I think the same is on Instagram. So not Instagram, but Snapchat. So either way, give me a shout. I love to bounce some ideas against everyone. I'm also the MC for Import-Export car show. It's going to be here in DC pretty soon. So when you get your award, that'll be me calling your name and roasting you when you come up. It's just kind of something that I do. I'm not a comic, but got a pretty quick wit, and I can give you a little joke if I see something that's funny. But if it's not, then I don't worry about it. Anyway, thanks for checking me out. I have other videos. I'm also a musician, so you'll see stuff like that from other gigs. I was on America's Got Talent, season 7, member of the Distinguished Men of Brass. You can check that out. Some good stuff. We're the only band in the world that do what we do, and no one can do it like us. Baddest band in the land. Anyway, it's your boy Rico. One take, no rehearsal, no practice. That's what I do. You know how I get down. Peace.